the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
It's a Musua everybody bar concerning breaking news and we are Rebecca Simon so about the collision involving brand new speed trains abayi acquire ebabiye juma ewo tema mpakadai railway line no so. The Honorable Minister ababe kasa afaho concerning the kobaya side you see na CCA from Ghana Police Service Associate IGP Dr. George Kufudampare on the Maranti no Oman Bojuma pa anaju ya no kase ya Oman doa sa Kia driver now also this mayhem to the entire nation. As the Honorable John Peter put it now, or say it was a very unpatriotic act by Nibakura of also signing on the Ghana Police Service on the preliminary investigative findings be about the Toja. Say, I didn't see you know. Now, but Payaka Krebi, in kind statement, Ghana Police Service for them. I must say, a truck driver arrested for allegedly causing train accident on the Tema and Pakadai railway line. The Ghana Police Service has arrested the driver of a Hyundai truck with registration number JS 901820. JS 901820 for allegedly causing an accident involving diesel multiple unit DMU train on the Tema Mpakadai railway line today, Thursday, 18th April 2024. Police preliminary investigation has established that the suspect driver left the said vehicle unattended on the railway line. What Jesse Honomo said, on the against will be here for home, knowing perfectly was a baby mechanism which led to the collision with the train. Police investigation into the incident continues. We initial statement at the Ghana Police Service at the other two guys say for security reasons, so we told him Dino and I was shared I could join the car NDC railway quiet so now we should know say Payopa and now Okujai NDC Hono grapevine sources and Nsem-Pii they are sort of form and some identity and they say we could be any tiny cheer they say oh machine kutupa what could this say Jumano the same the NDC social media aparachiki so much as a casa buying in the now be BBC I have to go about sensitizing a more now check is a quiet no the BM so and some statistician. Meanwhile, Transport Ministry, Railway Development Authority, Obia ye was in Kawe. Now a May and now Obia who baby as I track a free body and truly drew Honomo now track Nakusi Honomo. A lot of people are trying to link it with bringing Pure Musendi about to go from NDC as your young former chairman. So say, Obi Kisho say, Obey, beer, Obi painting black, on the say market. You try to a janto marketing, but you say, never piano, the many women by my brain, on the say. A lot of people are putting up questions, say, a nutty and a side view, to me, a siana. Now, and no, the Honorable Minister. Honorable John Peter Amewu, MP for Popoy, Honorable Asai Minister in charge of railway transporting and the audio said, this is an unfortunate, irresponsible, and unpatriotic citizen, referring to driving near or share that package in Hyundai Kia track. It will railway track so. This is not even a road. Never be a quino, a good trim if a railway. Track na so na ka se kwan fa hono cars fa ho to do kai ko fa hono na kan ko says yo. It was a deliberate attempt and the Honorable Minister said it was unfortunate, it was very unpatriotic and I feel so it was very irresponsible. Now the Honorable Minister kasa yi ba how passionate he was in addressing this unfortunate circumstance.
Slightly damaged. The Polish engineers who were assembling the train are in charge, expected to be handed over to government, but government had not yet taken a complete ownership of the train. So we are hoping that the insurance company will work on it as quickly as possible for us to put this train back on the line.
So where exactly did this happen, these accidents? The kilometer 76?
Kilometer 76, yeah, that's getting quite close to Mpakadan. Yeah,
So he had crossed the Volta River by then.
precisely.
I see. Talk to us about. So you said everybody on board was safe.
Everybody says, yeah.
The Kia truck driver has reported himself. There were no passengers on the Kia truck, I presume.
My brother, it was quite an unfortunate incident because what we were told, eyewitness, said categorically that they saw the Kia driver. He drove his truck, then went and parked straight across the rail line, came down from the car, and then vanished. And so nobody knows what prompted him to do that. The intention is not quite clear. I don't want to read any ill motives into it at this stage, but I can assure you that the police are in charge of the investigations, and at the appropriate time will feed Ghanaians with what actually happened.
Was the test run publicized so that someone may know that a train is going to pass through a certain point at a certain time? And I'm talking about possibility of someone doing this on purpose. Was this test run advertised or publicized?
Well, of course, the engineers, they normally use this, the maintenance track on the line. So, of course, they inform people, by that this thing is going to be conducted. And this is a train line, which the maintenance vehicle always slide on it. So, yes, of course, communities along knows that this process is ongoing.
Could there also be a possibility that they do not know that it's going to be used by a regular train? Because, it's a new line, which I
agree perfectly with you, but as our culture needs to change as a country. You don't... This is a train line. It's been constructed not quite long, but they are constantly, the maintenance truck, run on that line almost every day. So, under no circumstances would you have to drive your car and park on it.
Even the
line... maintenance truck. I was on the maintenance truck just about 2 days ago. We taking a drive from Tema to Mpakadan. We have to stop almost about 5 stops because people were sleeping on the line. People were, doing all kinds of things, drying. People were washing their things and drying in across the line. So I agree that we need to do a lot of education, as human as we are, and people from, this part of the world. We will continue to do that kind of education, which I agree perfectly with you.
Even busy lines like the one at Circle is a place where goods are exhibited for sale. People only move them when the train is coming. So it's really going to be a difficult one. I don't know what you're going to do because you can't police the track every day, 24 hours a day. And at intersections that you have done overpasses, that shouldn't be a problem. But because you have a lot of intersections where roads are crossing the rail line, I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe level crossings. How are you going to deal with that? Put people at those stations? It's going to be a lot of work, isn't it?
This particular line is a modern line. If you look at the underpass and the overpasses that have been constructed along this line, we don't expect anybody to cross this train line. The designers have taken all this into consideration. So if you ride down from kilometer 0 to, Mpakadan, you see a number of underpasses and overpasses. Okay. So this is not like the old ones where you have, people crossing left and right. If you want to cross and the train is moving, you either go underpass or you go overpass, depending on the kilometer at which you are. As much as we continue to do the education and the training of the people around, it's also expected that as a country, we should begin, to change some of this attitude. I agree with you that the old lines people are there, but those ones, because there are no underpasses and overpasses, this one has been constructed to feed the modern practices, so we have to adhere to the culture of, doing the right thing.
Let's talk about this new train you were test driving or test riding today. We brought it from Poland. Is it for us? Is it for some private person? Tell us the story around this new train we have.
This is purchased by His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo's government for the good people of Ghana. So it's not for any other person. It's for the people of Ghana and for the Republic of Ghana, So it's our train. It's part of the aggressive agenda by His Excellency to make sure that we revitalize our railway sector. So it's for us Ghanaians, and it's going to be run, by Ghanaians. Training has been conducted, and I can assure you that this would, add a number of value to the people who live there in terms of their transportation down to Accra.
Can we know what the terms of purchase are? Did we buy it on a loan? Did we pay upfront?
It was an outright purchase. It was an outright purchase, and it's going to be run by Ghanaians.
So it will belong to the Railway Development Authority. How much did we buy this train for, please? And how many coaches do we have?
I'm not in the position, but I think that one of them is in excess of about 7 million, if I'm right.
Dollars or cedis?
Yes. Dollars.
So we bought two trains.
Yes, please.
How many coaches per train?
This is not for freight. This is for passenger. So this is a DMU. We call it diesel multiple unit or double multiple unit, whatever it is. But it's a diesel multiple unit. So you have both the front end and then the back end. So it doesn't have the coaches attached because it's solely for passenger but not for freight.
So it's just one short bus? It's not a number of buses?
It can carry quite close to about 200. So it's quite long. It's a long and a very beautiful train. It has a lot of beautiful facilities and modern facilities. Charging points, urinal, toilets, communication system. You enjoy. This is the train that you can take, on any long distance. You're traveling from the modern world to any other part of the country.
I was going to complain that you should have taken me on the test ride so I see for myself. But considering the accident you encountered today, I'm happy I didn't.
No. I'm going to do that. My only fear is that maybe you wouldn't want to come down if you board that train. It's so comfortable.
I'll alight at Loom and then walk to Asuchari Junction. But
we'll definitely do that.
So there are two of them.
There's going to be a tour for weekends. We're going to run a tour for people who want to use the train for other purposes. So there's a lot of facility coming on board when the president commissioned this.
Did we bring both into the country, or one is in the country for now?
One is in the country now. The other one is on the way. Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're going to commission this, start running it, and then it's joined by the second one.
When are we commissioning it? Do you have a date yet?
We expected to do this. We want to do the test run for at least 3 weeks. So we expected to do this in by the close of May or first week in June. Our expectation is that the test run should be done at least for between 2 to 3 weeks. Then the president comes and commissions the train together with the line. You've seen the line, very beautiful.
Yes.
From Tema to Mpakadan.
Yes, I have.
The first ever rail bridge that we have had in the South region, a rail bridge across River Volta Ascension. Very, very beautiful one, of course. And it fell also as a tourist potential for this country. So as Ghanaian, we need to be extremely grateful for what His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo has done once again. I'm quite happy myself.
That train track was intended to cut goods from the Tema port to the batches on the Volta River or Volta Lake for northwards bound traffic, so that people from Burkina and Niger who are coming to take goods from us will not have to bring their trucks down south here, so that we would dispatch the goods on the batches and take them to Yape or wherever it would terminate on the Volta River. So the thinking was that you were going to put cargo trains on the line. Why are you putting passenger trains on the line?
No. Every train line, depending on the intent, we either have freight or passenger. So we are not only putting a passenger on it; it's also going to be a freight. The freight will come in when the terminal at Mpakadan is completed, and also we need to make sure that together with the Ministry of Transport, some work would have to be done, along the Volta line, upward, so that it will be very easy to put a badge, on that line, the river, and then run the goods to that end. So that is in progress. It's work in progress. While we continue to pursue that agenda, what we intend to do within the medium term now is to start the operation of a passenger while we work towards the freight arrangement in the near future. Are
you going to put both passenger trains on this particular line, or the second one, which is yet to come, would be on a different line?
No, it's going to be on the same line. It's the same line, just like a route from Accra to Kumasi. It takes both private vehicles and then the articulator or the long vehicle. So
no. I'm talking about the two passenger lines from trains from Poland. Both of them are going to be on the Tema Akosombo line.
Precisely, because it's constructed for a double gauge, not the standard
Standard gauge.
Not the narrow gauge that we see. So this is a standard gauge, so it's going to work to fit that.
Okay. The question that would come up is, have you done the analysis, the passenger analysis, to know how many people from Akosombo come to Accra daily or Tema daily, and whether or not these people would be willing to join the train, so that it's not going to be an empty train on the tracks where we would be losing money?
Yes, some feasibility studies have been done. And of course, again, you have to admit the fact that this is a social service. All across the world, running a train business in terms of the passenger, it's not economically a viable business. There's always that viability gap that are closed by governments across the world. Until you begin to run a free business, then you begin to make some return on your investment. We have done some feasibility studies, of course, and we expect that within the first month to start with, we are going to have about 70%, capacity full of this train moving between Bon, Japan, and then the Tema. The capacity of the train is, I think, is in excess of about 200 people. And so if we are able to run on that, we should be able to cover our operational costs at least, but not necessarily to cover the initial investment cost, which is quite expensive.
I'm familiar with that area. I'm familiar with where the train lines pass, and I'm also familiar with where the Tema Akosombo road passes. The line is a bit far from the main Tema to Akosombo road, where you have people inhabiting. How are you going to deal with that? Because if I were living at Asuchari Junction, it would take me a lot of time to move to, say, Agomeda or Lom or Gigedokun, where I go to board this train. If I were living in Akuse or Kpong, it would take me a longer time to go to where the train passes. How are you going to arrange that particular transport service? Because the rail line is not moving along the main road. So how are you going to get passengers to move all the way there, western side of the line?
What we've done now is to construct what we call access roads from the main road to the train station. We have over 8 train stations, modern train stations, built to specification that passengers can go and park their vehicles, wait for the train. The train is going to run, according to time. So you can drive there. We have a very vast parking area where you park your vehicles, and then you can board the train depending on your time of arrival. So it's very convenient. People, if you are moving from Akosombo now to Tema, you agree with me, the traffic density, especially as you get close to the Tema runabout, the traffic density is quite intense. And so people ordinarily will now begin to park their vehicles and join the train to Tema. I mean, if I'm even traveling from home and I get to Pong, I think it would be ideal for me to join a train from Pong to Accra, than to go through.
Nsem-Pii TV